What's outstanding? Like, what can actually pop in the next week, do you think, Tom? Anything
You know,
in the
the,
NFL?
the big things we're waiting on are going to be, start out with the pass rusher contracts. Obviously, the Aiden Hutchinson situation has been ongoing for quite some time here. They're not an unmanageable distance apart, but the Bengals' history is that they can take a long time to move forward here. I anticipate we're going to get resolution before camp, but nothing's a guarantee. Same thing with TJ Watt and Micah Parsons. All three of those guys, especially Parsons and Watt, because both of them are going to be attempting to, in all likelihood, going to outshoot the $40 million per year on Myles Garrett contracts. Those are more related. Trey Hendrickson, it's not going to be up there. He's not trying to be over $40 million per year. But all three of those contracts, plus Shamar Stewart and that situation in Cincinnati, all those things sometime between now and mid-July when teams are reporting to training camp, you would anticipate one way or another are going to get resolved, whether that means a new contract or it might mean, somebody not showing up on time for the start of training camp. Obviously, you've got the Jalen Ramsey situation, and there's all kinds of rumors every day about where he's going and who's interested. The reality is we're sitting here, June 19th, and we don't have a deal in place for a player who plainly has no future in Miami, wasn't there for minicamp, was excused amidst ongoing trade talks. They haven't gotten a deal done there yet, but that's one that certainly we're going to be watching between now and training camp. And then, beyond that, you've got some of the other contract situations. Lamar Jackson, do they find a way forward? That's not really pressing because he's got several years left on his contract. Do the Lions jump into the pass rusher market and get Aiden Hutchinson done? All those sorts of things, plus, the other holdout guys, Terry McLaurin, Jonnu Smith, all those situations. A lot of the people, put it this way, Rich, the people I've talked to within the league predominantly have been on the beach or on their way to the beach. They're all doing the same thing this weekend that I am. Doesn't mean business can't get done. Cell phones do work on the beach, but these next few weeks may be more kind of fits and starts before we get past the 4th of July. And that's when a lot of times that pressure point starts to rise because most teams are reporting to training camp July 22nd. Sometime between now and then, we're going to have to figure out exactly what's happening.
Yeah, man. So Jalen Ramsey, is it like, I know there's a lot of Rams fans here thinking, well, he won a ring here and let's bring him back here. Would that be a fit? Do you think there's a there for Ramsey to come back to Los Angeles? Tom?
I believe Jalen Ramsey would love to come back to Los Angeles. I believe the Rams would welcome him back at a certain price, but you heard Sean McVay reference it from Maui the other day, just saying there's some complications with getting something done. And that specifically is Jalen Ramsey's due a lot of money, cash and cap this year. If the Dolphins are going to do a deal with a team like the Rams, they might have to eat some of that money. And it hasn't sounded like they've got a great appetite to eat the money. Some of the teams that might take on all the money, that might not be places Jalen Ramsey wants to go. He's kind of dictated these things a couple of times already, from Jacksonville to the Rams, from the Rams to Miami. Jalen Ramsey has shown throughout the course of his career he's willing to push certain buttons and pull certain levers to get to his desired location. Any player's greatest leverage is withholding your services. And if Jalen Ramsey makes it known, hey, I'm not going to show up there. You trade for me, I'm not coming. I'm going to be a problem. You're going to be dealing with this. That team's probably not pulling the trigger on a trade.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.